Lawyers for Calvary Chapel, Belfast asked a federal judge today to halt the University of Maine system's sale of the Hutchinson Center to Waldo Community Action Partners.
The judge heard arguments regarding a lawsuit the church filed in November, accusing the system of religious discrimination. A few months earlier, UMS had selected Calvary Chapel, Belfast as the winning bidder for the Hutchinson Center, but then rescinded the offer to sell after 2 rounds of appeals.
Attorneys for the church say the decision to go back on the offer came after an outpouring of community animosity toward the church. They say that tainted the system's decision-making process and resulted in an outcome that violates their First and 14th Amendment rights.
Lawyers for the University of Maine deny the allegations, saying they followed the correct procedures and negative community sentiment didn't factor into their ultimate decision. They say the university is a public institution and should be free to award the sale to the bidder who offered the most value.
The judge said she'll issue her ruling on the request for a temporary restraining order quickly.
I think the judge was engaged. I think she was interactive. She was clearly asking the right questions in a search for the truth. Here we know what happened. The community incited mob to target Calvary Chapel on the basis of its religious beliefs and didn't want them to buy the Hutchinson Center. And the University of Maine acknowledged that and acted upon it, and the Constitution prohibits that.
In a statement, the system's spokesperson said the system strongly disagrees with any allegations of discrimination, and there has been no evidence to support claims to the contrary. We await a decision by the court so that we can move forward.